and welcome everyone. It's Race on Oz. It's the Monday Night League. It's PC. I hope you've all been well. First stream for the year. Kicking off round number 1 of the new season. Is Watkins Glen, 60 minutes around this very historic circuit. Over. I think they had to reset the server maybe. Anyway, I'll try to pad it out a little bit. So what do we got? Let's take a look at last year. Last season. So season, what was it? Season 5, I think it was, or season 4. I think it was season 4. It was Benjamin Hickett who took home the overall championship, so big massive congratulations to him. 637 points, ended up being 26 clear of Terry Rayton in the BMW, so congratulations to Benjamin Hickett, last season's championship winner. Terry Rayton, as mentioned, in second. Max Ricker had a bit of an up and down season, but still a pretty good effort to finish there in third in the Porsche. Experience for him in the end, so he ended up doing pretty well. Vinny Canero, Mr. Consistency there in P4. Then we've got Mitch Hayes in P5. Paul Russell ended up finishing 6th in the Bentley, so a couple of Bentleys in the top 6 there. Mark Hurley in 7th on 388 points. Matthew Frost, another Mr. Consistency there in 666. He finished there in 8th. 9th was James Pierre Reid, and rounding out the top 10 was Herbitron. In terms of the silver and the AM classes, it was the silver class champion ended up being Mark Hurley. So big congratulations there to Mark Hurley, or Medal Steel as some might know him. Peter Wall in second place, so the season before that champion. He finished there in second. Third was Neil Fakeney. Fourth was Aaron Parker, so he was a newcomer to the league. I think he came on board a little bit later in the season, so I can't remember from memory if he started the season, how late he started the season, but a good effort from him. Adrian Rice sitting there in 5th position, and Chris Hildebrand rounding out in 7th. The AM class champion was Herbitron, so 317 points. So both class victories sort of relatively comprehensive. Wally Masterson on 281.5 points. Zach Jensen in 3rd. Lee Perkins in 4th. Joshua Wilson in 5th, and 7th is Simeon Coco. Let's have a look at the circuit. I don't mind Watkins Glen, 5.43 kilometres, especially the run up through turn 1. You've got pretty liberal track limits there. They call it the 90 up through the yeses. See a lot of overtaking happen through the inner loop there, or a bus stop chicane, whatever you want to call it. It's a very, very technical, twisty part of the track around here as you go down the chute, through the toe, and then up through the heel. You usually take that second to last corner absolutely flat out and finish off the lap. So it's a decent old little lap, about 144, 145 is where we're looking at the moment. You've got, let's have a quick look. There it is. This is the way it stands at the moment. I've got to get the times up. I don't know how to do the times, so if anyone has any tips for me on how I can get the times back on my screen, that would be very, very much appreciated. This is the first stream of the year. I didn't do the last one last year because I was absolutely crook as a dog. COVID knocked me about. I had a fever. It was a 40-degree day, and I was actually wearing an hoodie around my apartment because I was that cold. I was shivering while it was 40 degrees. So that's why I didn't do the last one. But we're back here. COVID is long gone. It's still friggin' hot though. It's bloody hot at the moment. in Melbourne, as it is in summer, I guess. But this is what we got. It's not Terry Ratton, it's Benjamin Hignett. So a 144.747. I wonder if they're going to reset the server. I hope not. I hope they're just going to wait it out. Is there any cars out on the circuit? There is, yep. So we'll just pat it out a little bit. Jack Steele, I like his livery. Check it out. Man of Steel is the team. Superman livery. I'm digging it. I like it. Some Ferraris at the top there. Top 3 positions. Max Ricker. That was a bit of a last minute livery that he's put together. So looking quite nice. He's been the 3rd fastest car in practice. Aaron Parker, he made that livery himself. Pardon me. He made that livery himself, as do most of these guys, but a little bit more advanced than his last season's, the Mobile Oils livery that he had. It was simple, it was easy, it looked nice, it was effective. Terry Ratton in 5th position. He's in the Honda this season. So good to see him out there in those Laundry House colours. Mitch Hayes, he's currently sitting in 6th, so he's the highest of the silver runners at the moment. This man here, he's got an in-game livery. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if I didn't download the right one or something, but Paul Russell just got a generic in-game livery. Usually I look forward to every season. Vinny Canero in the Nissan. I seem to have not gotten that one either, or he didn't submit one. He's sitting there in 8th position. He's moved across from the Boatley that he had last season into the Nissan. So another peculiar choice. It's not an overly popular car, the Nissan. Neither was the Bentley, but good to see him trying out some different cars other than the norm. Paul Russell, yeah, he was in the Boatley last season as well. We don't have any returning Bentleys this season. Mark Hurley in the trusty Ferrari, so the 177. He's in 10th. Brett McGillivray. How do I pronounce that? McGillivray. Yep, Brett McGillivray. He's a new name to me. I don't know if he's new to Ruse, but good to see some new names out there. He's putting in a good position. Steely in the chat. OMG, I'm in second. You've been pretty active there in the chat, Mr. Steele, so you seem pretty excited for today. James Pierre Reid, he is in the Lamborghini this season, so we'll see how he goes. Adrian Rice in the Porsche. So what was he last season? What was he last season? I can't quite remember. Was it a Nissan? I can't remember. But anyway, he's in a Porsche this season, so good to see him out there. Here's Herbertron. He's got some nice liveries this season, looking very nice. So sitting there in the Ferrari. He's driven Ferraris predominantly in this league. Rod Taylor, number 32. That is a new name to me, but I don't know if it's new to Ruse, but good to see a new name out there. Chris Hildebrandt, classified performance 111 entry. Have a look at that. That's quite a nice looking livery, isn't it? I like it. It had pig in the file name, so I was expecting perhaps something a little bit lighter pink. Also, jump up to silver for Herbertron. That's Big E Hugs. Thanks, Big E Hugs. Where were we? Taylor, Macaulay, James Mack, there in the McLaren. So that's actually a really good point. I will go back to that. So Herbertron, he's moved up to silver. So he's gone from AM to silver. So good to see him move up a class. But I've really enjoyed watching the progress of Robin Herbert, or Herbertron as most people know him as. So great to see him in the silver class. There have been some class changes as well. We've got this man here, Wally Masterson. I like the looks of this livery. It's simple but effective. I like the colours. There's a bit of contrast there. I don't mind the white. I like the Weller hair hair brand sponsor on there as well. And that is it for everyone. So we are about to go racing. Yay. Alright, is Vinny Canero going to beat everyone out? I don't think he has. No, he hasn't. It's Jack Steele in the Man of Steel Racing. So we'll get a good look at his livery as he takes off in the Ferrari. Chris Hildebrandt is tucked in behind him. Only a couple of cars out on circuit so far. Max Ricker is going to be the other one to join him. So it was around the 44.7 was the fastest lap in free practice. It's a 15-minute qualifying session. It's 10 a.m. in game time. There's plenty of other cars now making their way out onto the track. This is McGillivray. I'd like to say it's pronounced McGillivray because that would make a bit more sense, but I don't know about that I in there. But apologies, Brett, if I didn't get it right. Hopefully I'll get better as the season goes on. James Peter Reed, the white livery Lamborghini. Lots of motor racing been going on as well. Daytona 24-hour last week. Yesterday the Bathurst 12-hour. So there was quite a few ruses up there on the mountain. That's why Crunch is not racing today because he's a bit tired from the weekend. I unfortunately didn't really get to watch a lot of it yesterday. I prioritised wrestling over car racing yesterday. So Adrian Rice, the only car in the pits right now. So we'll flick over to Steele, who's about to start his first time lap as he dips the tyre through turn 1. You can run relatively wide through here, through turn 1, and it's pretty much flat out all the way up to the bus stop. So you usually get some pretty good racing going up through here as well. In that Ferrari. And then it's hard on the brakes. The signs on they're not meters. I think they might be feet, maybe. They're not meters. I know that much. There's a tricky little downhill left-hander through here, just down into third gear. Seems to take forever. A little bit bumpy out of there. Then it's an uphill right-hander. This is another tricky corner. Staying quite tight there. Going to ease it out. And then there's another right-hander coming up here. This is also a bit of a tricky little corner. This one. Let's see how he goes. Down into second gear. And then you head back up the hill now. So for the second last left-hander, can be a little bit tough sometimes to find that apex when you're in the first-person view as well. And now this corner is a little bit more tricky than it looks. He's got to ease off the throttle as he does. Once it's through there nicely. And into turn 1. Into the final turn onto the front straight. Let's see how he goes. 145.495 is the best time so far. Chris Hildebrandt doesn't beat that. I've got to find Max Ricker. Here he comes. Then James Mack will be making his way. No, Vinny Canero will be making his way through very, very shortly. There he is. Then it's McGillivray into P3. And I saw a reigning champion coming through there as well. A whole bunch of cars coming through. I've got to wait for the time screen to sort itself out before I can start tracking everyone. There's 32. Here we go. Rod Taylor. 85. There's Terry Rayton. Comes across the line. Now Paul Russell. So Jack Steele, a 145.712. I've got to get the times up. So if anyone can give me any advice on that, that would be fantastic. Here's James Mack. He's 623, not 123. 123 is Vinny Canero. 623 is James Mack. Here comes Wally Masterson in the McLaren. Got a few McLarens out there, about 5 or so in the field. I did see Andrew Lawrence's name earlier on in the server, but I don't see him out there at the moment. So we've got 18 cars in total. So not a bad little start for the season. A good little turnout this time of the year. 86, 56 minutes. Oh, that's Jack Steele. There we go. And then Hildebrandt. Origins up to Red Rebel Racing. There's a few Red Rebel Racing cars out there. Hildebrandt is not one of them. He is in the Porsche. He moves up the timetable a little bit. Here comes Max Ricker. What sort of time can he set? P2 so far. Here comes the Nissan of Vinny Canero. And we've got the BMW coming through. What about Hignett? So he's just coming through now as well. The car. So Pierre Reid, he's not set a time yet. Let's see what he can do. No, he's not going to do it on this lap. He's got red next to his time on my screen. What about Herbertron? He hasn't set a time yet. We've already been going a tick over 6 minutes. Jack Steele is leading 1:45.047. Best time out there right now as we're watching the 512 entry. Herbertron, just freshly minted silver class plate, number plate if you like. What a silver, only 3 AM, so good to see guys progressing up. I don't know what that is. I don't want to delete it yet because I feel like it's tied to my timing screen, so I just want to be careful on that. Apologies. Where is it? There we go. Jack Steele. Oh, that's a spinner there. That's 86. That is... it's someone. Oh, that was Hildebrandt as well. They've decided to jump into the pits. Here's Mark Hurley. He's sitting in P9 right now. Halfway through the session, so it's Steele, 1:44.727. So just under 2.5 tenths ahead of Vinny Canero. He's sitting there in P2, currently in the pits at the moment. Benjamin Hignett sitting there in third. Fourth is Ricker. Fifth is Parker, Rayton, Hurley, Russell, McGillivray, and McCauley. Hurley is the highest of the silver. Highest of the AM is Rod Taylor in P12. He's fast lap right now. Paul Russell is on a lap, but he's down on his best time. Let's see what he can do anyway. We'll follow him to the line. And he improves. Good enough for P9, so there wasn't much of a difference between he and P9 there, so he's been able to move up. Here's Wally Masterson. He's almost 4 tenths up on his best time. That wouldn't be enough to move him up a spot though. It will, however, improve his time, so he'll remain there in P17. Here's Rod Taylor in the 32. In the Ferrari, he's down in 15th at the moment. It's not looking like he's improving his time at this stage. We'll have to wait to see. Vinny Canero, Jack Steele are both out there. Hignett and Parker, they're in the pits. Ricker is on either an in or an out lap. So is Terry Rayton. Mitch Hayes is on a time lap as well. We'll stick with this man here, Rod Taylor. Going to have to improve his time by about 4 tenths to move up a spot. He's got the 111 Porsche ahead of him, Classified Racing, Chris Hildebrandt. Everyone else is just setting up for the final stages of this qualifying session, setting the grid for round number 1 of the season. Season 1 of 2025. I feel like we've gone way past Happy New Year and all that sort of stuff. Can Taylor improve? Yes, he can. He goes past a few positions up into P12. Nice work to him. Here's Paul Russell. A couple of tenths up on his best time. So So of the top 6, all of them are on warm-up or warm-down laps. Hayes is up there as well. Paul Russell will cross the line first though. He improves to P7. Nice work from him. Here's Mitch Hayes. He's just replaced by Paul Russell. Will he be able to return the favour? I think he will. He does. He goes into P6. Nice work. Here's Wally Masterson. Team RJN. 17th is his spot. He improves but not enough to move up a position. Here's Mitch Hayes going again. Max Ricker is going now. So he's on his flying lap. 4.5 minutes left in this session. Don't know what the bloody... I don't know what this stuff is for today. I don't know what the pitch strategy and whatnot. I will work that out as we go, eh? So here's Ricker. Looking good right now, Max. Former champion. Back to back, I think he was. Just getting off the side of the road. Have you been playing AC Evo? I reckon it's, you know what? I think it's been a pretty good, solid launch. I like how they've done it. Didn't go all out. It's a little bit bumpy on day one, I have to admit. I haven't got it yet, but yeah, I thought it went pretty well. My perspective. Be interesting to hear what I have to say. Here we go. Here's Max Ricker though. Enough about that. He's sitting in P5. He's 8/10 off the Man of Steel. The 996 Ferrari. Missing up there as well. Vinny Kinier doing a great job there in P2. 2.5 tenths the difference between pole and P2. Man here, Max Ricker, he's looking to take a chunk out of that. Can he get onto the second row of the grid with this time? He can. Nice work from the 27. Good work, Max Ricker. Here comes Hildebrand. Just coming out of the toe and down through the boot. And then into the heel. I've always thought of this track, it seems like it's someone who's like sort of hunched down on all fours. If that makes sense, like with their head bending down, almost like a brace position with their knees on the ground, if that makes sense. Surely some other people have seen that and that's not just me. As Hildebrand making his way through turn 10, can potentially invalidate the lap there, but he avoids that. Almost 4 tenths up on his best time. Where will this place him? In the top 10? No, it's 11th. Car number 111 is in 11th. Here's Vinny Kinier. So the big four, the top 4, the top 6 are all out there on laps. The car ahead of all of them right now is Vinny Kinier. So still 0.235 of a second. Is the difference between P1 and P2. He's down. He's well down on that. Almost 7 tenths off his best lap right now. But we'll keep an eye on him. Max Ricker will be the other one to keep note of. He's down there in 4th position. He's half a second off the pole position time. Currently a quarter of a second up on his best time. So he's got the right colour on his screen. He's got green. Kinero, he is not going to improve. Here comes Max Ricker through the final turn. He's lost a heap of time in the last couple of corners there. He was a quarter of a second up. Well, can he get onto P3 though? He does. So he's still able to improve his time. Here's Benjamin Hignett. So he's 2.5 tenths up on his best time. He's almost half a second off Jack Steele, getting to the business end right now with just over a minute remaining in qualifying. So it's last chance saloon for a lot of these guys right now. Hignett will have one more go at it if he wants. We'll wait and see. He's almost 4 tenths up on his best time. This is going to be good enough for the front row. Will it be good enough for pole position? No, he misses by 25/100ths of a second. So literally nothing in it between Steele and Hignett, the two Ferraris. Steele's out there, but he's on an invalid lap. This is Terry Rayton. He's got Parker just behind him, who's improving by the corner. He's almost 4 tenths up on his best time. Here's Terry Rayton. He's 2 tenths down. He's not going to improve his position. Will Aaron Parker, though? He's just under 3 tenths up. He goes onto the second row of the grid. He's in P4. Great job from him. Rod Taylor, he's not going to improve his time. So 15th as we go down to the final 10 seconds of this qualifying session. Here's Vinny Kimiro. He is 3/100ths of a second up on his best time. He's 2.5 tenths off the pole position, and he's about 2 tenths off Benjamin Hignet in P2. Hignet's put his cue in the rack. He's in the pit. Steele's out there right now, going for another lap. We're in the countdown timer now. Kinero, he's not going to be able to improve enough. He does improve his time, but not his position. He will remain in P3. Here's Steele. We'll get back to him shortly. Here's Mark Hurley. There's a cluster, 6 silver cars from 7th to 12th right now. Mark Hurley, he's 4th in line. Can he elevate himself up a little bit? 3 tenths up on his best time. I reckon he's going to be the highest of the silver runners right now, Hurley. As he hits the line, he goes, oh, P9. He lost a little bit of time there. All right, misread that. One of the two. Here's Paul Russell. He's 2 tenths up on his best time. Why is Paul Russell in the silver class? He used to be pro class. Anyway, only just noticed. So 1.5 tenths up on his best time. Russell sitting in P10. Oh, he clips the wall. Doesn't invalidate the lap. Loses a bunch of time. And P10 is going to be it. So the Russell household won't be particularly happy about that. Here's James Pierre Reid. He's 6 tenths up on his best time. That could elevate him well into the top 10. P8 potentially. We've got only 1:40 left on the countdown time. We've got 4 cars out there. One of them is Pierre Reid. What can he do here? 13th to 8th. Nice work there from James Pierre Reid. And that is the session. That was good, eh? That was fun, that one. That was a lot of action at the end there. But Jack Steele, congratulations. A 1:44.727. The man of steel is going to begin the race from P1. Mitch Hayes, he's the highest of the silver runners. He's starting in 7th outright. And Rod Taylor, on what I believe is his debut, he's the highest of the AM as well. So congratulations to those drivers. That is our grid for round number 1. So we'll just wait for all this to process. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I haven't done that for a long time. It's always good to sort of blow out the cobwebs. We'll just wait for the countdown timer to begin, and then I'll take a quick little break and be back very, very shortly. But we just got to wait for the countdown timer to start. Once we do that, we will be good. Alright, waiting. Still waiting. I'm sure we'll get there, but cracking time there. So it's 25. There you go. There's the times on the screen right there. So 25/100ths of a second, 75/100ths of a second between Kinero. So first and third, 75/100ths of a second covering the top 3. That's cracking right there. That's setting us up for an awesome race, I reckon. Kinero up there in the Nissan. Good to see Aaron Parker as well up there too in P4. That's a great result for him. There you go, 2 minutes. Here's the countdown. I'll be back in like 1, and we will get this thing underway. Sit tight. I'll be back shortly. Alright, we're back, and This is the grid. So Steele will begin the race from pole position. Can I do a little bit of... Should I do like a bit of grid walk action? Let's have a look in bumper. They fixed it in the thing so I don't get the cool angle. But anyway, they're about to head off on the grid. I've got to find out. If anyone knows what the pit stop restrictions are tonight, that would be fantastic. Night season info. Oh, here we go. Is this it? No, that's not it. So head off on the warm up lap. Oh, hang on. Ooh, here we go. It's pit length. And race. BOP. Weather. Pit window length. Mandatory stop 1. Oh, refueling allowed? Yes. Mandatory pit stop refueling required? Yes. A mandatory pit stop tyre change required? Yes. Mandatory pit stop no driver track safety ready. All right, so I think it's a refueling allowed and mandatory pit stop refueling required. Yes. Mandatory pit stop tyre change required. Yes. So it's a mandatory fuel and tyre stop. As Hignett is the race from P3's Vinny Canero. As mentioned, good result for Aaron Parker, a newcomer. He was new to the league, to PC League last season, but not new to lose. It's Max Ricker. P5, he's always got himself at the pointy end of the season, of the grid. We've got Terry Rayton in 6th position. Mitch Hayes race 7th. 8th will be Brett McGillivray. Hurley, he'll begin the race from 9th, so 7th through to 14th is all silver drivers. Russell will start the race there from number 10. Rice will start in 11th. Chris Hildebrandt, he'll begin the race from P12. Macaulay from 13th. 14th. It's going to be Herbert Taylor. Start from 15th, the highest of the AM. Masterson in 16th. 17th is Hedges and Pierre Reid. Why is he fallen all the way down there? Did not start, did not qualify there, so maybe he had some technical difficulties there at the beginning of the warm-up lap, potentially. Have to just wait and see. Gridding up nicely. Here we go. 10:05 in game time. Not too sure what the flyer is. I don't really like these morning starts. Anyway, here we go. Nando Latenzio, where are you? Where are you, Nando? You're not racing. I downloaded delivery. Thanks for watching, though. Appreciate it. Here we go. Here's the race start. Steele and Hignett off the front row. 2 Ferraris. There's the sign. We're off and racing. Looks like Steele got a good start there. Vinny Canero battling with Parker there. in third position. They managed to all get through there without any issues. So everyone was on their best behaviour. Nando Vicente just finishing on US up. There you go. Fair enough. But Steele leading the way from Hignett as they head up the back straight. Kinero's managed to hold on to P3 there. Parker is in chase. This will be interesting coming through here. Oh, we got a spinner. That is... Who was that? That was, I think, Macaulay. I think. Let's see what happened there on the replay. As we're with him, here's the car in the middle there, the red car. Oh, he's just clipped Adrian Rice. I don't think he saw him there, to be fair. So I think that was just a racing incident. As we go back to the live images. But this is Steele leading the way down into the heel. Turn 8, also known as. Leading the pack as they're snaking their way through this tight and twisty technical part of the track. Canero settled in there at third position. Ricker in fifth. So we won't try and latch on to these guys, but a good clean lap for the first lap of the season from everyone on their best behaviour. Great to see. But it's Steele. He's got Hignett all over the back of him there right now. So that's going to be a hard man to keep behind him. It's definitely going to test the man of steel. And Hignett has got Canero all over the back of him right now. And, oh, he gets past. It's a big wobble from Hignett, but manages to hold on to it. See what happened there. Let's go on board. Let's have a look at the heli cam here. Was there a little bit of contact potentially going up through, I think it was turn 3? Oh, there was. So he clipped the wall. That is good driving from Hignett then. Oh, that steering wheel would have been going crazy. So nice work from him. I think we've lost one though. We're down to 17, so I'm not too sure who's dropped off. But we're down one. That was a huge save from Hignett, showing his class. Steele is showing his class. Have a look at it. This is the gap between he and the rest of the field. So he's able to put a bit of a gap on them. Parker has now moved into second. Hignett in third. Canero now in fourth. Max Ricker still occupying P5 where he started. Terry Rayton in there as well, so a couple of veterans. That'll be interesting to watch how those two go to battle. But Parker now has the Ferrari Hignett behind him. Good start from Parker. He's moved up 2 spots from fourth. Oh, that's Terry Rayton going wide, going down the inside of turn 1 on Max Ricker. Some room, plenty of runoff there. Nice driving from both of those. And this battle's still going to go on, not completed just yet. It is now. Oh. Still going. This is a cracker right now. See in the rear view mirror there up the top. But anyway, and Rayton ends up taking the position. We've lost... Oh, looks like Wally lost power. There we go. Thanks, Nando, for letting us know that. Oh, that's unfortunate. Wally Masterson, he's lost power, so he was the car that has unfortunately left us. So, Hignett and Parker, they're sort of by themselves right now. The gap is 2.4 seconds, the difference between Steele and Parker right now. There you go. You can see the man of steel there in the foreground, and then Vinny Canero just drops a wheel on the grass there, kicks up a puff of dust, and he's got Terry Rayton and Max Ricker hunting him down right now. And the field is quite condensed through to about P11, so it was 75 100ths of a second between the top 3. Vinny just had a big save. Crunch is saying, oh, look at that for a big save. That was full crossed up speedway style. Let's have a look at that again, shall we? Oh, you can see the back end just flipping out a little bit there already, and then watch this. Look at this. Whoa, that is awesome. I went to the speedway a couple of weeks ago. That was very reminiscent right there. And we're back to normal racing. So Kinero is tucked in behind Max Ricker. Oh, that was Hurley pretty hard into the wall there as well. Looks like he's got possibly terminal damage. And this is not a good sign. Or maybe it's a technical issue. Whatever it is. He is stuck there for now. Here's Ricker. I think, have we lost another one? Yeah, I think Mark Hurley. Oh, I reckon he's got technical dramas. Mark Hurley, not too sure what's happened to him, but the 177 is stricken on the back straight there. He's off the racing line, which is good, and he departs. So he's out of here. Whatever the issue was, he's ended up being terminal, and that is his race done. So Parker sitting in second, 2.8 seconds the difference between he and Steele. You got Hignett tucked in behind him, and then there's a bit of a gap between Hignett and 4th position Terry Rayton. 3.8 seconds is the difference right now. Ricker in 5th is where he started. Kinero has dropped down through the field. He started in 3rd. He's in 6th right now. Biggest rises through the field. James Pierre Reid from 18th to 11th, but that isn't where he qualified. So Rod Taylor is the other big mover. He's up into P10. Is Rod Taylor, highest of the AEM drivers and 10th outright. That is a fantastic effort from him on debut. As far as I'm aware, I could be incorrect, but yeah, good to see him out there as well, putting in a fantastic effort. For 3 seconds, so last lap around a 1:45.272 was the time from Steele. Fastest lap of the race so far, but we're only 8 minutes into it, so we've got plenty of time still to go. Here's Pierre Reid. He's putting a little bit of pressure on Rod Taylor right now as we go on board the Lamborghini driver. That Ferrari right now. So head down into turn 6, the chutes, a tricky downhill left-hander. Oh, he's going very quiet there. It was almost like he had lag in his wheel there for a second. Not too sure what happened. So head now down boot, heel, turn 8. The tricky right-hander. Start heading up the hill now through 9 and 10. A couple of left-handers before the final right-hander of the lap. And it looks like Hignett putting a move on Parker here. They're going to go side by side through the final turn. It's going to be a drag race. It's going to be McLaren versus Ferrari. And it looks like the Ferrari is one out. So Benjamin Hignett, nice work from him. Let's see how that came about. So we're sort of catching it a little bit late there. But this is sort of where we jumped on board with them. So Benjamin Hignett now has moved himself up into P2. Hurley had a game crash. Thanks for that, Crunch. That is unfortunate for Mark Hurley. Last year's AM or Silver Class champion. One of them, Silver Class champion. And it's not over between Parker and Hignett. Parker's not going to give this up without a fight. And as they go now through turn number 5, oh, looks like he's almost going to drop a wheel. Oh, Kinero, what's happened, Vinny Kinero? He's dropped a couple of spots. What's happening to the Nissan driver? I don't think the race setup is really working for him at the moment. Oh, he just got it sort of a little bit loose and. Oh, that could have ended up real bad, but he's managed to save that relatively well. But he's dropped down into P8. right now. So from his starting position of P3 is not where he was expecting he would be at just after 10 minutes of race time. The gap is continuing to stretch out right now. Hignett, 5.4 seconds the gap now, at 1:45.372. So just a tenth off the fastest lap of the race, which was also set by him. So he's flying right now. He's the man of steel. And Parker giving chase to Hignett. This is a good little battle going on here as well. So I think it was just a case Parker made a little mistake that allowed Hignett to get through, and he's definitely got the pace to stick with the reigning defending champion. That Datsun looks a handful there. They're all missing right now. We'll see if we can organise a livery for Vinny Canero, man on the screen right now. He's got McGillivray just up ahead of him. He's having a great race. As far as I know, it's his debut. Number 24 in the silver class. P2 in class right now. As they head up the back straight, trying to keep the Nissan behind him. That's just... that was Paul Russell giving Nando Latenzio a little bit of Morse code to get out of the way. And he drops further down the field now. So Vinny Canero is down to P9. So he's struggling big time in the opening stages of this one. Someone in the chat, Crunch, give us an update on if McGillivray and Rod Taylor are debutants for Ruse, or if they've been around a while. Who else do we got? So we'll stick with this battle here. So Canero trying to make up that position back from Paul Russell. 6 McLaren. That's Pierre Reid. Will definitely be very interested in this battle between the two. He'll be looking to get a little piece for himself. And that's Rod Taylor sitting there in 11th. Looks like Canero manages to get past Russell there again. So he's back up into P number 8. See if that Nissan can settle down a little bit. In the meantime, there's plenty of weaving along the front straight as Canero comes back onto the racing line. And that's Canero, Russell, Reid, and Rod Taylor just hanging in there. Oh, no, they are new to the PC League. Oh, that's all I need to know, Crunch. Thank you. There we go. So they're new. Here's Pierre Reid. He's not new. He's a veteran. So is Paul Russell. A couple of old heads going at it. And it looks like the Lamborghini power is win out in this case. It does. Nice work from him. Looks like Parker has managed to get past Hignett as well. Here we go. Just caught the last moments of it. Where is this on the track? It looks like it was down through turn 8 by the bits of things. So that's Parker now moved up into P number 2. If you're part of Root and you've been part of the console league, you've known Aaron Parker by his console gamer name, Nox Parker, I believe it is. So that's how I knew of him. Has a reputation for being extremely fast. And you can see it right here. He's up there in P2. 6.4 seconds is the gap, though, between he and Jack Steele, this man here. He is racing. That's the gap between he and P2, so he'll enjoy that. He won't have anything in his rear view mirror right now. He's able to just run his own race. Here's Paul Russell, far away from the quarter-way mark of this race. That's Rod Taylor just ducking out of the draft there. Looking to potentially launch an attack down the inside of turn 1. There's plenty of runoff space through there as well. NASCAR tend to sort of abuse that quite significantly when they race here. And Ricker looks like he's got a nice little toe here on Terry Rayton. He's going to go down the inside at the bus stop chicane, and he gets it done. So Max Ricker with a nice move on Terry Rayton in the Honda. Max Ricker, he moves up from 5th to 4th. 5th is where he started, so he's made good progress. He's headed in the right direction. what else do we have here? So Rod Taylor back on the rear wing of Paul Russell. Reed has managed to get past, so he'll be going to make some ground up on Vinny Kinero. 2 seconds the gap between those two right now. And then between Hignett and Parker, it's a good battle right now. Parker was 8/10 faster on that previous trip around than Hignett, so he's got a little bit of a pace advantage at this stage. He's gone 15 minutes already, so quarter race distance. And Jack Steele is leading the way. Hayes is the top of the pops in silver class. Jeez, I said, oh man, they're down on top of the pops. Yeah, Hayes in P1 for silver class, but P6 outright. McGillivray, he's there in 72nd in class, and then Rod Taylor is the highest in the AM class right now at the 15-minute mark. The gap between Parker and Steele, though, sitting at 6.1 seconds right now. The difference between the two. Last trip around, Parker was a quarter of a second faster, so this will be interesting, especially once pit stops start to happen, which I would imagine will be in the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes. Here's Adrian Rice in the brightly coloured livery. Sort of got a bit of like a 70s kind of vibe about it. That sort of style and colours, the pastel colours. He's sitting there in 13th position right now. He's chasing down Herbertron, or Robert Herbert, in number 12 in 512. Going forward with the Porsche. Always sounds like such an angry car. The Porsche. Well back there, so they didn't make the podium. BMW 1-2 and the Mercedes in third. Matt Campbell in the team. It had a great livery on it, though, that Porsche did. I was able to catch that. And those guys in the Mercedes team, I don't know who they are. Oh, he's in it. That was the pointy end of the field, those guys. But yeah, no, BMW was on field yesterday at the mountain as Herbert just clips the wall. Is that going to give an opportunity to Rice to maybe make a lunge at turn 1? Not quite. Still, I was about to say still not over, because you can catch a bit of a toe up the back straight. Not to be though. No speed trap time, unfortunately, so give you an idea on that right now. Gap continues to be hovering at 6 seconds, 6.2 to be exact, between Steele and Parker right now. So that's what's happening in P1 and P2. And you've got Hignett there sitting in third. So it's sort of, I just saw Aaron Parker's team man. Why are there so many McLarens? I like that. Good question. They're fun. They're a great car to drive, the McLarens. Very obedient. And just once you nail it, it's very, 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 very enjoyable. They were the sort of meta car for a while, weren't they? Maybe they still are. It's more maybe the Ferrari these days. It's definitely not the Nissan, so that's why you got to give. You've got to give credit to this man, Vinny Kinero. He's not afraid to go in the opposite direction of everyone else. He's not afraid to. He went to Bentley last season. So did Paul Russell. But both have gone different ways this season. Kinero, some battle scars there on that car right now. So. In the war, started third, currently 8th. Looks like it has settled down, so whatever was ailing him, not as significant as it was earlier. Here's Russell and Reed. They're going at it, so Paul Russell gets the job done on James Pierre Reed. Let's see see how that came about. They'll probably overtake each other again, but anyway. Oh, so he's come from a long way back. So, Pierre Reid just ran a bit wide there at turn 1. And then Russell was able to just go up the inside and take that position away from him. And we will go back to live images right now. And poor Russell is still in front. So there you go. P9 is where he sits at the moment. We've gone a third race distance now. So time is ticking by. We're not too far away from the halfway mark of this. And we should probably start to expect some pit stops, I would think, in the not too distant future. Have to wait and see. Here's Vinny Kinnear. He's just tucked in behind McGillivray there in P7 right now. So he's second in class. 2.5 seconds is the gap between McGillivray and Hayes right now as they're battling it out for silver. And then you've got the AM Rod Taylor still leading the way. He's got a decent gap between he and Hedges. Back to Reid and Russell. They're still going at it. The gap has started to grow again. So it's almost at 7 seconds the difference between Steele and Russell. So Steele did a 1:45.645. This is the 1:46.190. So that was Parker on the previous lap. Ignat did a 46. Rickard did a 45.8. Times out there. He's the only car, three cars are circulating in the 45s. Mark Hurley's back, everyone. So he had the game crash. He's come back in. Nice work from Mark Hurley. He's decided to show a bit of tenacity. He's back in the race. Kinnear and McGillivray. So the race has just sort of settled down. The gaps are sort of eased out a little bit. We're down to 16 cars. And the gap out in front, Steele is doing it pretty easy right now. Let's do a lap on board with him. Let's see exactly why the man of Steel is leading this race. Have it. That's a lap on board with the man of Steel. 6.8 seconds still the gap. That lap for anyone wondering. The 46 flat was the time. And we've got our first pit stop. So 25-minute mark. Mitch Hayes is going to be the guinea pig. He's going to give us possibly a par time. Delete it all. Yeah, I don't want to delete it though, because if I delete it, I think it's got something to do with the program that I'm using. I don't want to delete it I don't want to delete it now during the race. You know what I mean? I'm not good with computers. I get so anxious. They cause a lot of anxiety for me. I didn't turn it on for a month, and I was positive I was going to turn it on, and something would be wrong with it. Here's Herbert making his pit stop. Heaton and Parker, they're still quite close together. Gap 6.6 seconds between Parker and Steele right now. So it'll be very interesting to see what these two do. Here's Adrian Rice. He is there in P number 12. He's coming into the pits. Back to these guys, two closest cars on the in the field. Let's see what their pit stop times are like. So Herbert. Crunch. Crunch is like my IT expert guru. Thank you. I will make sure I do that. So Herbert, he was a minute 8 in total. Kinero has been in the pits as well. A minute 11. A minute 4 to Pierre Reid. A minute 5 to Hayes. So anywhere between a minute 5 to a minute 11 is the total pit stop time. Wait and see how that transpires. Adrian Rice making his way out of the pits. Oh, he's got a stop-go penalty, 30 seconds. That's speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear. Here's James Mack. He's coming into the pits. He's making his stop. And Adrian Rice, where are you? Has he left us? I think he has. Yep, we're down to 15 now. As Macaulay makes his stop. He just lost a little bit of ground to Parker, which I think is going to be quite important in this battle between the two for the podium positions. Steele has it well in hand. He's there in P1. He's actually opened up the gap to 7 seconds now, the difference. I expect these guys to go a little bit longer. Though Hidner, quite notorious for going extremely long in that Ferrari. Has quite a large fuel tank in it, so he can stretch it out quite a distance. So we'll see what he decides to do with that this evening. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye on this battle. Keep closest cars on track right now. Out there. Herbertron, he's tucked under the rear wing of Hedges. I haven't spoken much about this man, John Hedges. So I do believe a newcomer to the league as well. So firstly, welcome. He's second in class right now, and he's got another Ferrari behind him. Maybe Aaron Parker needs to change his team name to why there's so many Ferraris. That might be a little bit more fitting. Here's Terry Rayton. He's making his way into the pits. So is McGillivray as well. So in the BMW, he's putting in another debutant effort. So he's doing great right now. Those two both in the pits at this stage, as we're not too far away, less than a minute from the halfway mark. And Macaulay and Hedges, I think they swapped positions. They did. So down there in 13th and 14th. Hurley is making his way into the pits, another Red Rebel Racing entry. Rayton's still in there. He drops and goes, so he's all done. So let's see what the time is from him. Ferrari Challenge subclass. Yeah, that's not too far from the truth. McGillivray, he's going as well, so he was a minute 5. Music Racer, throttle stopped again. That sucks. So he made it almost to the halfway mark. But yeah, I think Adrian Rice was saying he had some issues with his pedals before the race started. So that is some bad luck for him. here's Kinero. He's got Reed ahead of him. Pit stops. Everyone's made a stop. Here comes Hignett. So Hignet's into the pit. So is Max Ricker. So Hignet's going to have to hit his mark here. Steele and Parker, they've both continued on. So drivers that haven't made a pit stop yet, Steele, Parker, Russell and Taylor. And Hedges. Everyone else, the rest of the field has or are right now. Ricker, everyone seems cursed for technical issues. Yeah, a little bit like that. Paul Russell making his way into the pits now as well. So this is Jack Steele. He continues on. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead of him, I believe. I can sort of see. There we go. Hignett. Oh, I hope it's not done for the season 18, right? So hopefully it's just maybe need to update some firmware or something. I don't know. Hignett still in the pits. Away he goes. Ricker. He was behind him when he came in. Away he goes. Paul Russell's still in there. Expected to be in there a little bit longer still. Another 20-odd seconds. So, what were their user gamepad? That's quite interesting. A minute 4 was Hignett's time. A minute 6 was Ricker. Maybe had a little bit of damage to replace. Too sure there. And Steele is responding directly. What will Parker do here? Parker responds as well. I'm not too sure if that was just a last second thing there that he saw Steele in there and just responded to him. So where is Hignett? It was at about a minute when I picked him up. He's just making his way through the chute. So this is going to be a pretty high pressure stop here for Steele. What's the weather doing? It's just clouding over a little bit. Track is fast, not optimum. It is that fast. Here comes Parker. And he hits his marks as well. And here we go. Here's Hignett. He was 30-odd seconds away. 35 about that. Let's see what he can do. We've got Steele about another 20 seconds in the pits. I think he's going to be alright. He's Steele, but I reckon maybe Hignett might have eaten into some of that lead. Oh, this could be pretty close. Steele drops, making his way out of the pits. Hignett's going to have a full head of steam. He might get past Parker here, and it is going to be pretty tight. Oh, I reckon Parker's done it. Good job, Aaron Parker and Jack Steele. And Hignett remains in P3. So the undercut didn't work in this case. And Jack Steele continues to lead this race. 26.5 minutes remaining. Parker in second. Hignett in third. The gap is 5.6 seconds, so it was 7 seconds earlier on between P1 and P2 as Rod Taylor, leader of the AM class, has completed his stop. So stops completed. That's everyone except Hedges. So no one else needs to make a stop. Hedges is the last of the races out there. And as I say, there he comes into the pits. Let's have a look at Taylor here. So this is 4th position between him and Herbert. Clouding over, not expecting any rain though. Doesn't look like it anyway, according to the forecast. It's just going to be cloudy about it, so we'll see how that goes. And here is the other one. He's got Pierre Reed ahead of him. Right next to each other, so a matter of seconds. So they've got the same tyre life right now. Yeah, and the forecast has changed, so it is just cloudy. Truck's still 30 degrees, air temperature's 26. So condition is still good, still fast, not optimum, but fast. 5.3 seconds the gap between Parker and Steele. So I'll monitor that closely between the two. Hignett 1.6 behind Parker at the moment, just creeping out to 2 seconds now. The difference between the two, but we'll follow the action between Vinny Canero and Pierre Reid as they head along the back straight. It's you feel pretty good about this bus stop chicane. There's a lot of room to move. There's big, thick, wide. Oh, and there's a lot of room to move. Luckily for James Pierre Reid, and he's just turned it around. So what's happened here? He's been out of the pits for 10 minutes. So it's not his tyres that are not up to temperature or anything, or pressures, as he just made a little mistake. Yeah, he did. He just ran wide and then a little bunny hop, and then he's just put the nose into the fence there, and he'll be able to continue on without no dramas. But now he's got poor Russell to deal with at the moment. Haven't seen Heather Russell's name in the chat. Hope the Russell family is going well. And they're cheering on their boy right now. You can see in McLaren number 6. I wonder if we will get some weather. It's saying no, but I only got 23 minutes remaining. Not too sure, but we'll wait and see. In the meantime, keep an eye on the race. On the race, 5.3 seconds the gap. So last lap around Steele did a 1:45.247. Parker did a 45.147. So a tenth faster. He's got some pace, Aaron Parker. Gap between Hignett and Parker though is closed. 1.3 seconds the difference between the two. As we just duck away from that battle. There you go. You can see that's the gap between Hignett and Parker. So that's their race at the moment. 22.5 minutes on the clock. Hignett, he was a couple of tenths faster on that previous lap. Max Ricker, he's driven a good race today. It's I don't think he's had the pace to compete for podium, but doing well. He started 5th in 4th. See how his remainder of the race goes. Vinny Canero hunting down the number 24. That's McGillivray. Getting better pronouncing that. Still hovering at 5 seconds. The gap between Steele and Parker. That's enough for Steele just to feel relatively comfortable, able to just run his own race. Parker's going to have to push pretty hard to make up that gap. And he's got Hignett behind him, so he can't afford any mistakes. It's only 1 second the difference between Parker and Hignett. Less than that. Oh, here we go. Don't ask him. And then just keep. Nothing happened. That's good. Yeah, all done. So Canero in the Nissan. Track temperatures haven't changed. And there's the weather. Nicely navigated. You would think BMW of the Nissan would be pretty suited to those curves. Curves here, they're not too aggressive either. They're pretty docile, so plenty of margin for error. So still at 5.2 seconds, the difference between Parker and Steele as we're about to enter third of the race. So 40 minutes down, 20 to go. closer cars on the track. Gap between Hignett and Parker just started to float out a little bit. 1.6 seconds the difference between Parker and Hignett right now. Parker with a 44.8 on that previous lap, a 45.3 to Hignett. So Parker has got that McLaren humming right now. Fastest lap of the race that last trip around. So setting some purple times. Hasn't really put a foot wrong, has Aaron Parker. As we're watching Kinero down the back straight, going to send it down the inside and gets it done, able to pull it up. Nice work, Vinny Kinero. Gets the job done. He moves now up into 7th. So after dropping down, I think he was as far down as 9th. Now in P7. So a bit of a recovery drive for him after that car was not responding the way that he wanted it earlier. Back to these two, James Pierre Reid and Paul Russell. So they're having a little battle right now. Gap is still plus 5 seconds, 5.3 between Steele and Parker. Keeping a close eye on it at the moment. We've had the pit stops and sort of all quiet right now. Ricker, he's 3.8 seconds. Hignett's just done a 44.9, so he's turned up the wick a little bit. What does Ricker do on this lap? A 45 flat, so it's not really making up any ground. It's 3.8 seconds between Hignett and Ricker. Paul Russell is trying to turn the heat up on James Pierre Reid. Make their way towards the final turn of the lap. Quite close enough for any sort of slipstream. One straight, pretty short straight for that. So you can really use turn 1 there without incurring any track limitations. And it's just a flat out run up the hill through turn 4 and onto the back straight. And brake as late as you dare. Looks like Pierre Reid was just able to navigate that a little bit more smoothly than Russell. He's had a good race, has this man on screen, Brett McGillivray. He started 8th. He is in 8th. Vinny Kinera, he started 3rd. He's in 7th. So he's neither gone up nor down. Starting in the top 10, remaining in the top 10. Be pretty happy with that. I know what I would be. Two closest battles between Kinero and McGillivray, and Reid and Russell. The gap has just started to extend out a little bit. It was 5.2, it's 5.6 now between Parker and Steele. Steele just pumped in almost the fastest lap of the race. He missed it by 2 1,000ths of a second. That just gives you a bit of an idea where this man on screen is at right now with that Ferrari looking resplendent in the Superman colours, and he's putting on a Superman effort right now, cruising 5.7 seconds ahead of this man here, the 884. Listen to those downshifts. That's Parker, 2.4 seconds, so he has extended that gap out between he and Benjamin Hignett. So it's been a straight fight after the pit stops, and Parker has won that. So he started in 4th, up in 2nd position right now. Then Rico, he's made up a little bit of ground, about half a second on Hignett. Still 3 seconds the deficit though. Terry Rayton, he's had a bit of a quiet race, hasn't he, Terry? Started 6th, up in 5th. That's not bad. It's been sort of a very workman-like performance. It's been a very Terry Rayton kind of performance. Really steady. Nothing really to nothing crazy about his race, and just a good solid effort from the 85. Mitch Hayes, him operating in the top 6 is something that you would expect in that McLaren. He's been in the McLaren for a few seasons in a row now, so feeling pretty accustomed with that. He's in 6th. Vinny Canero, sort of spoken about him already, spoken about McGillivray. James Pierre Reid, I think he had some sort of issue at the start of the race, so he ended up starting 18th position. He's moved up 9 spots, so he's battling it out there with Paul Russell in 10th. Where did he start? Paul Russell, he started in 10th, so he's like McGillivray. They've gone neither up nor down. Track temperatures, nothing's changed there. Conditions, nothing changed. Forecast, nothing's changed. What about James McCauley, a Red Rebel Racing entry? Where did he start? He started in 13th, so he's moved up a couple of spots. So is Rod Taylor. He's just managed to get past Herbertron. Let's have a quick look at that. See how that came about. So head onto the front straight. He's running that pretty close to the wall. Might have even grazed it a little bit. Going to pull out of the draft here. Oh, nice work. Laid on the brakes. Herbie gave him plenty of room. Nice work, Rod Taylor. I like that. And then we go and pick them up as they make their way through the bus stop. Or the inner loop, as it's affectionately known. Yeah, Herbie, his silver class debut, he started 14th. He's in 13th position. Oh, did Taylor run a bit deep there? He did. He got on the grass. He's still on the grass. Just gives the fence a bit of a scrape. And all that good work that he did, let's go on board with him on the replay. He's undone. So this is where it started going wrong. Just there. Oh, then he just hit that little, it was almost like a Daniel Ricciardo at the Australian Grand Prix all those years ago, where he stacked it off the start line. A bit of grass there. So he's dropped down into 13th. Still leading AM class though. He's got a fairly hefty gap between he and Hedges, 18 seconds. And then Mark Hurley, like a trooper, Mark Hurley. He's a racer. Mark Hurley just loves racing. He just loves driving. I think that's quite evident by him getting back into the race after that technical issue. The game crashed. So credit to Mark Hurley. Hignett, he's had to do that a few times. Not the game crash, but he's had early incidents and then he's fought back and he's stuck out the whole race. So good to see he got some reward for all that persistence. Winning the last season of 2024. That's why he has the number 1 next to his name. Gap at 5 seconds now. So Parker's made up a little bit of ground on Steele, but not enough at this stage of the race with 11.5 minutes remaining. He is doing it pretty easy. Have a look at Paul Russell behind the wheel. See a little bit of footwork down there in the left-hand side, down the bottom. Very heel and toe required here. Quite good, isn't it? The level of detail that these cars have. Look at that little race logic thing. How much one of them costs? Like $2-3 for that little race logic timer thingy or whatever it is. Motorsport. Sim racing included. Spent a fair chunk of cash on sim racing. 5.1 seconds the gap between Steele and Parker. 4 seconds between Parker and Hignett. So I think one of the stories of this race is Aaron Parker. He's put on a phenomenal effort today. He started in 4th position, currently in 2nd. But it's more his pace that has been impressive. He's been able to keep the reigning defending champion, Benjamin Hignett, in his rearview mirror. And since the pit stop, he's able to put a couple of seconds on him as well. So this bodes well for Parker and the championship as well. Always good to have a good mix of fast drivers. Maybe even see Andrew Lawrenson make an appearance or two this season. Nando Latanzio is going to come back. Crunch is going to come back. Oh, a decent old grid, hopefully from next week onwards. I think we're in Kyalami next week. That's exciting. Then Suzuka. Is it Suzuka? No, not Suzuka. I think it's Valencia. Round 3. Suzuka's like round 7 this season. Pretty good mix of circuits, I thought, this season. Quite a few to choose from now in this game. All the DLCs and whatnot. I wonder if we'll see any more DLCs now that Nindo's in full flight. It'd be lovely. I think they've sort of hinted that they'll sort of keep an eye on it, but I can understand if they don't. LMU seems to be making quite a comeback at the moment. Not so much a comeback, but like it's become sort of popular again. I would like to get into that game. It looks awesome. It looks great. Pretty good for the sort of kind of like only a half finished game. But yeah, seems extremely the Steam game charts or whatever, the player numbers have gone up in the recent past. Russell and Reed, so they've been going at it for a little while now. Reed has the advantage. 8 minutes remaining in this race, and it's been all quiet at the front. Gap has only extended between Steele and Parker. 5.5 seconds the difference between the two. Ricker's making up a little bit of ground, a little bit on Hignett. It was about 2.5 seconds. He's got it to 1.9 at the moment. He was 0.3 faster on that previous lap as well. So does Max Ricker have it in him for a late charge for the podium, for the final podium position? Keep an eye on that. These are the other two closest cars on circuit, as is this one here. So Rod Taylor, after having that scrape against the wall, he's managed to work himself back onto the rear bumper, almost, of the 512 Ferrari. So we'll see if he's able to make the pass again, and he'll be hoping we can hang on to it this time. It's a bit deflating, isn't it, when you do all that work to make the pass, and it's like, sense of relief, and it just doesn't take long to break that little bit of concentration, and then before you know it, you end up like Rod Taylor was, and scraping along the wall, losing the position, and then you have to do it all over again, which is just about done. 6 minutes 40 seconds left, so Herbitron's going to make it quite difficult for him to get past. The gap has slowed down a little bit, so 4.9 seconds. First time it's been under 5 seconds for a while now between Steele and Parker. Even though Steele did a faster lap, a 45 flat to a 45.3. So I wonder if Steele's just made a little mistake somewhere along this lap to give maybe a little bit of false sense of hope to Parker. There you go, you can see the difference. That's what 4.7 seconds looks like right now. Or maybe some tyres are starting to affect performance, because Ricker is at 1.8 seconds the difference, so he's making up a little bit of ground. Here we go, here's Rod Taylor, take number 2. Can he get this done and make it stick? A little bit premature there as they go out of turn 7, down through the boot. Here we go. I can be thinking about, maybe just a little bit wide there. So tyres will start to be feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Taylor backing himself here, be thinking, I can get this spot here. I can finish ahead of the silver driver. Oh, Herbitron does himself no favours. We saw some sideways action through there at the beginning of the race from from Vinny Canero. what happened here? Oh, he just got on the grass there, and then, oh, back end, bang. And that's all she wrote there. So, Rod Taylor gets a bit of luck there, and moves up into P12. So, nice work from him on debut. Here's Paul Russell and Pierre Reid. These guys have been going at it for a while now. Reid stretched that out to a full second, the difference. So that's looking pretty comfortable for him. The gap's at 4.1 seconds now between Steele and Parker. So Steele, that last lap of 45.8 to a 45.2. 4.1. Only 4 minutes still to go. This guy's a dark horse for the championship right now, Aaron Parker. Jack Steele's, if he can hold on here, which he probably should. 4 minutes remaining. 4.3 seconds the gap. What have we got? Maybe, 2 laps left? 3 at the most? Wait and see. Ricker has closed the gap ever so slightly, down from 1.7 to 1.9 to 1.7. And then, as I say that, it just opens back up to 2 seconds. So, 45.6 to Hignett, 45.4 to Ricker. I don't think we're going to have enough time or the pace for Ricker to steal that podium from Benjamin Hignett. He's going to start his title defence with a podium finish if it keeps on going this way. Oh, here's Herbertron and Taylor both going at it again. So I reckon both these guys will be pretty happy with their efforts tonight. Be pretty happy with the racing as well. Russell just drifted out to a second. This gap's drifted out to a second. Everything's drifting. Including this gap. So 4.4 seconds the difference between Parker and Steele. What have we got? 2 laps left. 2 laps. Jack Steele will just be telling himself, hang on for 2 more laps. 45.5 that last trip around. 45.6 to Parker. Kinero just running a little wide there. In 7th right now. Hignett and Ricker 1.9 seconds, so that's not changing. Herbertron and Taylor. Who's that up ahead of him? That's James Mack in the 623. I think he was part of the crew that went up to the 12 hour. So 1:44 to go. Next trip around Steele. We'll get the notification that it's the final lap. Can he hold on? Have to wait and see. Looks like Pierre Reid's probably going to end up getting the better of this battle between he and Paul Russell. Have to get some post-race interviews going as well. Steele, Hayes, and Taylor. They all started first in their class, and they all currently lead their class at the moment. Jack Steele leads the race outright. He started in P1. He was very, very excited in the chat of the stream before the race. Check himself out on the stream. He could believe he was in P2. Let's see if we can get a bit of an explanation for that in the post-race interview. Some blue flags waving there for our race leader. I think that might be Hedges. It is. He's going to finish P2 in class today. Yeah, no rain ever threatened here. Hedges just gets out of the way. Always tricky when you've got the faster car travelling from behind. Remember last year's 12 hour, the big accident at the cutting with the slower car just the faster guy coming through didn't quite have enough patience. As Steele makes his way through turn 7 for the final time. The gap's at 3.9 seconds, so that's the closest it's been for quite some time, but it is not going to be close enough, unfortunately, for Parker. I still think, though, he's going to be a real threat in this championship, and I foresee a race win in his future. Not today, though. It's going to be this man, Jack Steele, the man of steel. 996 Ferrari, season 1 of 2025. He's going to open up his account with a race victory from pole to flag. Congratulations, Jack Steele. He is our winner for round number 1 of 2025. Congratulations to him. Here's Aaron Parker. He comes home in P2, a very, very well-deserved P2. Here's Benjamin Hignett, our reigning champion. He's going to come home in P3, just ahead of Max Ricker, one of our other former champions as well. He rounds out the top 5. But Jack Steele, it was a dominating performance from him. He had that well in hand for the majority of the race. And he's done a fantastic job. Here comes Terry Rayton. Well done to him. P5. Here's Hayes and Kinero battling it out at the final stretch. And Hayes just pips Kinero, so 6th and 7th. Good recovery there from Vinny Kinero. Here comes McGillivray on debut. Congratulations to him. The Purple Rain entry, number 24. He finishes in P8. Well done to him. Here's James Pierre Reid. He comes home in 9th position, just ahead of Paul Russell. And then we've got the rest of the field heading through here now. James Mack, Taylor Herbert. Looks like it was Hayes took out the silver class victory. Paul James Mack is going to finish in P11th. Well done, Rod Taylor. He comes home in P12 but wins the class outright. Congratulations to him. We'll see if we can get a bit of insight into him on the post-race. Hedges and Hurley rounds out the field. We lost a few along the way. But that is the race all done. But congratulations once again to Jack Steele. He is our race victor for round number 1. All right, let's see. I'll get a replay. All right, that's done. Now let's do some post-race interviews. Just get out of this, and we'll see if we can get some people in the chat. Oh, I haven't done this for a little while. Where do we go again? Was there a green room? Oh, man, where is it? Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Green room. Yes, I'm in there. All right, so... hang on a sec. Hang on, in the green room for an interview. Alright. Alright, I've asked them to jump in. We'll see if anyone does. Get rid of that. Yeah, good. Alright, we'll just have to wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Crunch. He put the thing in there. Oh, who have we got here? Is this our race winner? Is this Jack Steele? I think it is. How do... Oh, I've got your user volume up. Beautiful. Yep. All right. Are you there? Is that Jack Steele? I reckon it is. Are you there, Jack? Just working it out.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
I was pushed to talk only in this one.
Yeah, that gets
switch over.
That gets a few people.
Good.
Congratulations, mate. That looked pretty easy from this perspective. Was it as easy as it looked?
I don't think so. I think I got lucky at the start with P2 and 3 having a bit of an incident.
Yeah.
Going up the hill there. gave me a bit of a gap, and then just figured I'd try and match the lap times of the guys behind, but I ended up having to go as fast as I can because they had some pace catching me at the end there.
I was going to say Parker was pushing pretty hard there at the end. Did you have to push a little bit to keep him at bay? The gap was always around that 5-second mark, so it looked like you had it well in hand most of the time.
Yeah, well, that was as fast as I could go. If you went any quicker, I had nothing left.
Yeah, and how's the Ferrari's treating you pretty well from the Aston? Was it the Aston last season? I think it was.
I was the Audi last season.
Oh, the Audi.
They gave up on that one.
Yeah, but you've had the Aston at one stage, I think, though.
Yeah, first season was in the Aston. Yep.
And the livery, did you do it yourself?
I did. Yep.
I like it, man. It looks cool. Yeah, comes up.
Awesome.
It comes up really well on the stream as well. So I liked it.
Going for some bright colours, easy to spot.
Yeah. No, well, it's put you onto a good start. And yeah, it looked like it was. Yeah, it was. What were the standouts for you for the race?
I'll probably thinking. Well, it's a bit of bad luck, but thank goodness, like the two guys behind me had a bit of an incident and gave me a gap. Yeah. Because quali was pretty tight. I thought, it's going to be close here, and I think that just, sort of cemented it. Yeah. It was, very fortunate for me. And then not messing up the pit stop.
Yeah,
with that one.
Yeah, talk us. So what was the strategy with that? Were you just purely reacting to what the other guys were doing, or was that always the plan to go in when you did?
I think I could have gone one more lap with the fuel I had.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure I saw Ben go in, and I thought, don't want to give him too much of a chance to undercut because he'll be really quick on the fresh tyres.
Yeah.
So just went in the lap after, and he was close enough. I only had one more lap in me anyway.
Nice. And that Ferrari's got a generally pretty big tank in it as well, so you can sort of tend to stretch it out a pretty decent way.
Yeah, it's good on fuel.
Yeah. Nice. Well, and you were pretty excited in the chat and on the stream as well, during and before the race?
Nope.
Oh, that wasn't you. All right. Okay. So.
I haven't opened the stream yet.
All right. It must have been someone else. All right. Sorry, my mistake. All right. Well, congratulations, mate. You opened up your account in the best way possible. Race for your pole position and a race victory. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks, mate. See you next week. All right. I think we've got Rod Taylor. Let me make sure I turn your volume right up, Rod. There we go. Are you there, Rod? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Nick, I got you.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Congratulations. You debut and the AM class win. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been racing for a few years. This is the first time I've joined something like this. We've just been playing socially.
Yep.
Just trying to get up to speed. Jack's been giving me a bit of a hand, but I've got a bit of a gap between him and me, I can see.
Yeah, a little bit at the moment, but it's baby steps. You got to make up a bit of ground. So, and how did you find your first race in Roos?
Yeah, well, I haven't done a 1 hour race before, so that's hard to stay on. Keep focused for an hour, but sort of dulled out there for a bit and then refocused. Yeah. But towards the end, I was having a good race against Herbert. And that really sort of focused me again, and it was a great fight at the end. Made a few mistakes and came back.
The scrape along the wall woke you up a little bit, did it?
Yeah, I had a few moments.
I saw
put
that.
Out the grass and bumped the wall, but not too bad for an hour. I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you had some good battles there as well, and that's your first 1 hour race, so that's pretty decent for your first time. And you were driving the Ferrari. How'd you find it?
Yeah, I like the Ferrari. It's definitely faster in this than other cars. I don't know why, but it's a nice car to drive. It's very, very balanced. It's easy enough to. Yeah, it's not a nervous car, which suits me.
Yeah, nice. Well, congratulations, first time out. So I'm just confirming this is your first ever race in Roos. You've never raced in Roos before.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so good.
The Wacky Wednesday, yeah.
Mate, congratulations. That's awesome to come out and win the class on first ever. I think you finished 13th outright as well.
12th outright, yeah.
12th outright, there we go. I was doing you a disservice there. 12th outright, that's fantastic.
Don't sell me short, mate.
No, I'll try not to. Hey, you've made a good first impression already, so I'm impressed. So,
Excellent.
Yeah, well, congratulations and welcome aboard as well. It's a great little community. It's a big community here as well, but it's really good. Everyone's willing to help out and give you some tips, which it sounds like you've already gotten along the way as well. So, congratulations and welcome.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Awesome, thanks, Rod.
Okay.
All right, that is it, everyone. We're all done now. So we are off to round number 2, and I'm pretty sure it's Kailami next week. So that's another one of those tracks where it's just like, it's all right. It's got some good. It's got some awesome corner names: Crocodiles and Mine Shaft and Barbecue and all sorts of stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do that again next Monday, same place, same time. So that's it for everyone this evening. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for the chats as well. Thanks for everyone for watching, and have a good rest of the week. My name's Nick. I'll see you